Nice.
Hey folks, Big Country here for Hucking Aces Disc Golf, and today we're going to do a little test video on the new St. Pro from Latitude 64. I want to thank Infinite Discs for sending me a Gold Line St. Pro, 174 grams, and a Moonshine Opto St. Pro, and 175 grams. We're going to be testing these today against a Pro Firebird, a brand new Champion Banshee, a 11-time KC Pro Banshee, and a variety of T-Birds. 11-time Gummy T-Bird, Flat Firm Glow T-Bird, Meadow Flake T-Bird, and the Star Avery Jenkins T-Bird. So let's see how they do. First up, head-to-head matchup. Moonshine St. Pro versus the Flat Firm Glow T-Bird. Next up, a head-to-head matchup. Got the Gold Line St. Pro against the Avery Jenkins Star T-Bird. Alright, our initial tests were the St. Pro was just a little bit more overstable than our T-Bird. So now we're going to do another head-to-head matchup. 11-time Champion T-Bird versus the Moonshine Opto St. Pro. This is the most overstable T-Bird I have, so we'll see how they hold up. We're throwing into a little bit of a headwind. Our next head-to-head matchup, we've got the Gold Line St. Pro. He's going to be taking on a Meadow Flake Champion T-Bird. Once again, thrown into a little bit of a headwind. So after some comparison, I found that the Flat Firm Glow Champion T-Bird is roughly analogous to the Moonshine Opto St. Pro, and my 150 Gummy 11-time Champion T-Bird is roughly analogous to the Gold Line St. Pro. So we're going to do a little more testing. We're going to do some sidearms, we're going to do some hyzers. First up, Glow T-Bird. Alright, let's see if I can throw the Gold Line St. Pro a little better. strengths of having a lightly overstable fairway or control driver like a T-Bird, or as we're discovering the St. Pro, they can carve big, nice, reliable hyzers. So that's what we're going to test now. Again, we got the 11-time champion T-Bird versus the Goldline St. Pro, and the flat, firm, glow champion T-Bird versus the Moonshine Opto St. Pro. First up, glow T-Bird. Time gummy champion T-Bird. Alright, we've noticed that these St. Pros, which are fresh, are a little more overstable than even my freshest and most overstable T-Birds. So to accurately test them, we're going to throw them against a Pro Firebird, which is an FL, a newer Champion Banshee, and an 11-time KC Pro Banshee. We're going to throw them on some straight shots, we're going to throw them on some Anheuser's, and we're going to see who really is the most overstable, reliably, of the fairway drivers. First up, what I assume is going to be the least overstable of the group is the Pro Firebird, which, as I mentioned before, is an FL. Goal. Next up, we got the Goldline St. Pro. Almost a goal. Now for the Moonshine St. Pro. Champion Banshee. Time KC Pro Banshee, nice and pearly. So what we're going to do now is we're going to throw these against each other, see how they fare, and then I'll be back with my final conclusions on the St. Pro. So first one we're going to throw is our Moonshine. Next, Goldline. Go! We're going to throw these one more time down the official Hucking Aces testing ground field. This time we got a little bit more of a headwind, so we'll see how they do. And then, as I said before, I'll give you my conclusions on the St. Pro. First up this time, we're going to throw the Goldline. Next up, Moonshine Opto Pro. So that's it for our testing of the St. Pro. Let's give some conclusions. First off, a little bit on Latitude 64. I've thrown a lot of their discs, almost all of them, and I've found that with very few exceptions, Latitude 64 and Westside discs, whatever they're labeled as and whatever their numbers are, tend to not be true. I can happily say that's not the case with the St. Pro. They advertise it as a reliable, overstable control driver, which I believe it very much is. It is slightly like a longer T-Bird, but as you can tell from the video, by all these discs we tested it out, the St. Pro is pretty unique. The original Saint, which they advertised as an overstable control driver, was never really truly overstable. It was more stable. It had a lot of turn, it had some fade, and it would finish generally on a straight line. And you can tell from the videos, the St. Pro, if you're throwing right-handed, backhanded, will always finish left for you. Of the two plastics, I have to say the Moonshine is definitely more overstable than the Gold Line, which is true for just about any of the Opto and Gold Line type plastics. If you can see, the Gold Line is slightly domier than the Opto, which doesn't really affect it too much, which is kind of surprising. Those are just molding inconsistencies, and it happens. A lot has been made of the St. Pro flashing on the bottom. If you don't know what flashing is, it's just a little bit of extra plastic left over from the mold. The Moonshine has almost no flashing. It came this way. I haven't altered these discs at all. You can tell the sticker's still on them. Whereas the Gold Line has a noticeable amount of flashing. It was able to hold up with the Moonshine St. Pro as far as overstability goes, but I get the feeling that if you remove that with a little bit of sandpaper or just rubbing it on the ground, this Gold Line St. Pro would show to be noticeably less overstable than the Moonshine. It would probably have a lot of turn, probably wouldn't hold up that great into a headwind unless you put it on a decent amount of hyzer. All in all, I have to say these are pretty decent discs. I'm really glad because Latitude 64, in my opinion, tends to be a little bit overhyped. A lot of their stuff doesn't work for a lot of people. Their more popular molds, like the Pure, is a great disc, but a fair amount of the discs that Latitude 64 and Westside puts out, I've never been a fan of. And these are really great discs. They've got a ton of glide, just like these European companies are known for, so it'll carry a lot longer. They fight the wind, they can handle sidearms, they can handle flex shots. All in all, like I said, these are great discs. There's not a spot for them in my bag. As I said, I'm an Innova guy, and I have other discs that'll cover these shot. Banshees, Firebirds, various T-Birds. I bag, 5 T-Birds at a time for shots like these. But don't let that detract you from getting or trying out a St. Pro. In fact, I'm so happy with these that I'm going to pass it on to you guys, the Hucking Aces fans. So when you see this video on Facebook, please share it. Once we get to 50 shares, we'll select a random number, and we'll let that winner choose between the Moonshine St. Pro or the Gold Line St. Pro, and we'll send it right to you. So thanks for watching. Get out there and huck some aces, and go Grizz.